Hi guys, it's me, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl, and I just want to make sure we got a few seconds for everybody who is going to be joining us. And I just want to remember and honor everyone who gave their life, who's still protecting our freedom. I would love to say that I am proud to be an American, and I hope all of us are gathering today with our families. And this is a big holiday, and this is a holiday to remember every man, every woman for the all this time who've been protecting our freedom from the beginning of foundation of America till today. And it's time to honor our veterans. It's time to teach our kids that freedom is not something which just given easily, that behind our freedom, behind our country, it's lots of people who gave their life. So I want to make sure that all of us gonna honor that, and let's have a 30-second thing with all of us putting the hand to our heart and just remember all of them. And I hope that we all gonna be live in this country, and God bless America. Well, I hope you guys enjoy this weekend, and the weather is getting better, right? A lot of people stop wearing the masks, and I think it's one of those weekends when we finally can travel and gather with a family. But of course, we are busy in Dispatch Training Center because we need to make sure that America keep growing, that all of us have food on the table. And who does it? Of course, us. Trucking companies, our drivers. We still need to make sure that America keep going. And today we're gonna have some class from beginners, and we're just gonna talk about few things which you need to know if you decide to dispatch. So we're gonna go over terminology. Hopefully, I'm gonna see some friendly faces there. I see a few of my students are watching, and I know that they already finished the class. Some of them will be coming back to our safety class, to our webinar, how to open trucking company. But also, it's nice to refresh and understand what are we gonna be doing when we become dispatchers. So first, let's look at this. What does it mean, trucking? Well, the trucking means this is a process. It's a business of transporting goods on the trucks from A to B, right? We are transporting cargo from A to B. We have trucks, we have equipment. So what else do we need to understand? Well, we need to understand that we are for hire carrier, right? We are motor carrier. We are commercial company. And we are regulated by FMCSA. We are regulated by the United States Department of Transportation. We have a lot of rules to follow. Why? Well, because we're going to be on the public roads, right? And government needs to make sure they protect the public. So one more time, if you are new or if you're going to be opening your company and you need to choose what kind of carrier you're going to be, well, you're going to be carrier for hire, okay? Common carrier for hire, for cargo. That's kind of easy, right? Who do we need? Well, can anybody go and start driving that truck? Can anybody go just with a regular driver license and start driving truck and trailer? Well, not everybody. That's why we need a professional truck driver, right? And we do have a different categories, and some of them OTRs, over the road. That means that they go to different states. They do stay local. They have regional drivers, right? But still, to get to that point, you need to do what? You need to have CDL. And especially for people who are dispatching outside of the country. Well, CDL, this is a commercial driver license, right? driver license, which lets somebody to go on the road and start helping us to bring all those goods from A to B. And if your vehicle, this combination, truck and trailer, is heavier than 26,000 on the weight, you need to have commercial driver license. We do have lots of people who still carry freight, right? And if your vehicle is under 26,000, you can still do it with regular driver license. Well, look at this. As a dispatcher, you need to understand terminology. What does it mean regional? What does it mean OTR, over the road? What does it mean vocational? Well, the regional, it's typically involves day trips. So let's say we are in Illinois, right? Well, we can go to Wisconsin, we can go to Indiana, we can even go to Iowa, right? And we coming back. This is a region, right? And the region, we already know, we have different regions. We have South, we have Midwest, we have Northeast, we have West Coast, mountains, plain, Southeast, Southwest, so different region. So that means that these drivers just stay around few states. What does OTR means? Well, OTR, those are boys which go all over, right? Cross country, West Coast to East Coast. They can go from Seattle, Washington, all the way to Bronx, New York, Hunts Point Market to bring all those fruits, to bring all that coffee for you, machinery. So OTR, it's over the road. What does it mean vocational? Well, vocational, guys, you see them all the time on the streets, right? For example, the refusal trucks, right? The ones who carry the garbage, right? Concrete trucks. So those are also trucks which are doing some jobs and tasks, but locally, and they also need CDL. Well, let's keep going. What is the difference between a company driver and an owner operator? Well, let's think about it. Well, as a company driver, you come, for example, to me, to my company, let's say coast-to-coast transportation. I do have equipment. I do have truck and trailer. You are a professional driver, so you do have CDL, and I would hire you as a company driver. And we will negotiate how you will be paid, if you're going to be paid per mile or maybe percentage or per day. Everybody chooses a different way to pay company driver. Well, you're going to be using our company equipment. This is not your equipment. So you are a company driver with a CDL. So who is the owner operator? Well, the owner operator, it's also a CDL driver, but who went and he bought his own truck, maybe his own trailer. This is one of the possibilities, right? What else can be done with owner operator? Well, he might only have the truck, right? He only might have a bobtail. So he comes to my company and say, Alex, I would like to drive for your company. I do not want to open my own trucking company, but I do have equipment. So in this case, he becomes an owner operator. If I do have extra equipment, he can rent it from me. He can lease my reefer, my dry-van, my flatbed, my Conestoga, and he becomes an owner operator. In this case, again, agreements are different. He is paying me for service, for dispatching him. And usually people arrange it differently. He is paying separately for his cargo, for his liability. Also, he's in charge of his own physical and damage for his truck. I might be paying for the trailer, but he will be paying me back for trailer physical. And he started working for me. And we, for example, agree in my company, everybody who comes to work for us, they're paying from 12 to 15% dispatch fee. And of course, they cover the insurance cost. And again, you guys already know from previous lives and from my classes, we need to have liability, primary liability 1 million. We need to have cargo at least 100,000. We need to have physical. We need to have worker compensation. We need to have occupational. We can have general coverage. We can have extra insurances if we want to, but 3 are mandatory: primary liability, cargo, and physical damage. So are we good on that? Yes, we're good. So let's see again for new girls, especially for girls in the business, we get confused. What is a bobtail? Well, this is only bobtail. Bobtail, power only, right? So sometimes, and a lot of us are working with Amazon, right? So if you're working with Amazon, you do not need to own the trailer. You only have your semi, your power only, your bobtail. And you can sign up with Amazon Relay and you can start hauling for Amazon. In this case, the only difference you're going to have, you still need to have your own company, your MC, or you can work for me. If I have MC and you want to just work with Amazon loads, I can still hire you, right? And you're going to be doing only Amazon loads, power only. In this case, you're going to come to Amazon warehousing and they're going to give you preloaded trailer. And you're going to use their trailer. You're going to go from A to B, from B to C, keep going. In this case, what do you need to add? Well, we will need to add trailer inter-exchange policy. So simple as that. If you want to work for power only, you will need to add trailer inter-exchange, and of course, Amazon, UPS, FedEx, they also want you to have general liability. Another $1 million and 2 in aggregated. So it seems like, well, you're saving on renting the trailer, right? But you still have to pay extra coverage. I do believe in the end of the day, we all making the same money. It just depends what is your expenses, what is your RPM, and who is dispatching you. Okay, let's look through this stuff. We already negotiated the load, right? As dispatchers, looking at the load boards, we covered it last time. We can look at the DAT, we can look at the truck stop, we can go and book it directly on brokers' apps. Let's say we book the load from A to B, Chicago to Boston, right? We have the load. We agreed to carry, let's say, I don't know, ice cream from Chicago to Boston. In this case, well, you need to know that your commodity is refrigerated. It's ice cream. You need to make sure you do have reefer. You need to have reefer breakdown in case if you are taking reefer product, right? Anything which has to be carried in reefers has to be covered. So here you go. Now you're learning that if you're working for the reefer company, you will need to get an extra policy, reefer breakdown. Well, you're going from Chicago to Boston. You have reefer. Reefer, this is your type of trailer. Ice cream is your commodity, right? -20 is the temperature required for you to carry this. This is a combination. This is your truck, reefer, and now you can be a company driver or you can be owner operator. It depends what the situation is. So this is a simple terminology. What do we need to have in writing with our signature before we pick up that load? Well, we need to have a rate confirmation. So rate confirmation, this is a legally binding document between who? Between broker or shipper and the carrier. It's a confirmation that us, for example, Alex Transportation, is agreeing to move ice cream load from Chicago to Boston for a certain amount of money. Let's say $4,500. So this is a rate agreed. we're going to have some stipulations. We need to make sure we pick up from Chicago. Let's say we're picking up today on Monday, Memorial Day weekend, right? So this is already creating what? We need to make sure if the shipper is working and receiver is working on Memorial weekend. Extra steps dispatchers have to do. Let's say we're picking up today. We're going to deliver in 2 days in Boston, right? So this is our transit. This is our load. So that's why we have to sign rate confirmation. When we're going to have all these things discussed, what is the rate? What time is it picking up? What is the pickup number? What is the delivery confirmation? When are we delivering? What kind of equipment do we need? Do we need to have just a reefer, or maybe we need to have E-tracks inside, right? Do we need to have swing doors or roll-up doors, right? Is your reefer has to be 5 years or newer? I would think so for ice cream, right? And ice cream is very tricky commodity. I would not recommend you to take ice cream if your reefer is not brand new. Even if it's brand new, the distance between Chicago to Boston, it's like 990 miles. I don't really think you should be risking, especially if you are a new carrier. But you sign the rate confirmation. And my girls know who is signing the rate confirmation: dispatcher. After you receive the rate confirmation, you need to make sure you verify all this information. Okay, we've done this. Let's see, do you need to understand the definition of TL and LTL? So what does TL means? It means truckload. That means the full load. It's going to be here in the truck. And don't get confused, guys, because it can be not a full trailer, right? But they still gonna book your truck as a dedicated truck. So a lot of times, even if you have only 10 pallets, but you book it as a full truck load, you cannot be adding all those partials. I know a lot of people do, but unfortunately, this is not something you want to practice a lot because it goes against what? Agreement, your rate confirmation, right? So let's see, what does it mean LTL? Less than truckload, partial. In this case, if you book in as a partial, you can add as many partials as you want, as long as you know what? As long as you know how many pallets can go in your trailer, right? And we know that in reefer, it's 22. In dry van, it's 26. If it's a double stack, it's 52. You still also have to remember what? Legal weight. So truck, trailer, and product together cannot exceed more than 80,000 on a weight. 80,000 on a weight. So usually you're going to know your empty scale ticket, truck and trailer without product. And then you're going to take 80,000, deduct the empty scale ticket. That's how you guys going to know how much your truck can scale. So is that easy to understand? Yes, it is. And please, guys, share it to the groups because we're trying to make this movement and I try to help all the new dispatchers. So hopefully we can help some people to decide if they would like to be dispatchers or not, and ask me questions because I can read the comments and I can answer if something you don't understand. So one more time, as a dispatcher, you need to know TL, truckload, full load, LTL, less than truckload, partial. Okay, let's keep going. This is just easy terminology for the beginners, but you do need to understand the meaning. Well, what is HOS? Let's think about HOS. Well, HOS is hours of service, right? So United States Department of Transportation have a safety regulations, and they came up with the rules for hours of service, HOS, for all commercial drivers. Let me ask you this. As a dispatcher, do you need to understand hours of service? Or that's something which is nothing to do with you? Well, if you want to be a pro and if you don't want to book the loads and then cancel them, then you need to understand HOS. In our classes, we do discuss this. My students understand that before booking, they need to log in. They have to look at HOS of our drivers, and they need to make sure that the transit is going to be possible. We're not going to be discussing HOS hours because next Monday, you guys going to have guests, and we're going to see, first of all, what do we decide on which ELD you should choose and what is HOS hours. And we're going to discuss that next Monday. So it will be in full. And we're going to be talking about how to manage it, how to educate your drivers, how dispatchers can help booking the loads which will be possible to deliver. So all of that is HOS hours. Okay, let's look at this preview. Let's say we have load from Chicago to Boston as we decided earlier, right? We're going to go and pick up in Chicago, but we were delivering in Madison, Wisconsin. We need to understand that the miles between Madison, Wisconsin to Chicago is called empty miles. This is deadhead miles. That's when our driver goes empty. He has no product, right? He delivered that load in Madison. Now his trailer is empty. You found him the load. Your load is picking up in Chicago. So the miles from Madison to Chicago is empty miles. Miles from Chicago to Boston is going to be loaded miles because now we already have load. We already have cargo, right? So this is a loaded miles. Well, truck origin. Well, truck origin, this is going to be a city where you previously delivered, or maybe where do you park your truck? For example, right now it's a holiday. Lots of drivers taking break. So the truck origin will be the city where he parks. But on a weekly basis, it will be the previous city where you deliver. So truck origin. What is a load origin? Well, this is a city where you're going to pick up your next load, right? Please make sure you do not you're not going to be mistaken by this. So when the broker asking you, where is your truck origin? What he's asking you, how far is your truck from my shipment, right? In this case, our truck is in Madison, Wisconsin. Why is it important? Well, guys, first, because remember HOS hours, we can drive so much. So broker wants to make sure that, first of all, you are not too far to pick up this load because usually we have appointments, right? We have to pick up and deliver on time. So you have to realize how many hours it's going to take you from your previous delivery to the next pickup when you're talking on the phone. That's why my students always remember that we have to look at the map. Well, let's look at a short video and I will be back and I will be answering your questions, but we're going to go and cover a little bit more of terminology. And I am back, and we are gonna keep talking about this. So the good dispatcher is always going to include total miles. Total miles when he's going to be calculating rate per mile. One more time. The mileage, for example, from Chicago to Boston is 990 or 980, it depends of zip code in Chicago and zip code in Boston. If we're going to put together from Madison, Chicago to Boston, probably going to be closer to 1,100 miles. This is a total trip miles. As a dispatcher, you have to make sure, wow, how many days is it going to take me, right? Because we have hours of service. Driver can drive only 11 hours. He has a shift, 14 hours. He can drive 11 hours. Then he has mandatory sleep, right? 10 hours. So when you guys are looking at transit, you need to understand that transit measures in days and hours, okay? Not in miles. Because again, let's see this example. I'm calling about the load from Chicago to Columbus. Let's say 350 miles. Hi, how are you? It's me, Alex, as a dispatcher. Let's talk about this load. Well, what time is it picking up? Well, it's picking up on Tuesday, June 1st. When is it delivering? Well, it's delivering on Thursday night. Well, how many miles we have? 350 miles, right? But what is the transit? Transit is 2.5 days, right? Wow, this is too long of the transit. You do not want to take this load because transit is too long. Let's see the different scenario. Well, we're picking up in Chicago, we're delivering in Boston, right? Well, when is the pickup? Pickup is tomorrow, Tuesday, 10 a.m. Delivery is Wednesday, 6 a.m. Well, guys, transit is too short unless you have the team. Still, you need to make sure when is it picking up, when is it delivering. So transit always measures in days and hours. Mileage, this is a distance. In logistics, if you want to succeed, you need to make sure you think about it when you book your load, right? So what else do we need to know? Well, we need to make sure that we know what kind of shipper and receiver do we have. Are we talking about first come, first serve, right? First come, first serve shipper or receiver. Usually you're going to have the window from 8 o'clock to 4 p.m. Anytime your driver comes, he can load or unload, right? First come, first serve. Then we have strict receiver, strict shipper by appointment. Exactly 9 o'clock. Let's say strict receivers, Walmart, Target, CVS, US Cold Storage, Americold, Food Lions, Publix, CNS, Cisco, you name it. Exactly strict receivers or shippers. You're going to have exactly time, 11 o'clock, 9 o'clock. What do you need to make attention to? Well, is it 9 in the morning or 9 p.m.? Make sure you verify that, because when you guys are booking the load, it's so easy to listen but do not hear, right? So always verify. Is it 9 a.m. in the morning? Is it 9 p.m.? Or is it 9 o'clock at night? Can you verify? Especially if you guys have that midnight appointments, right? Because a lot of times brokers will be confused. So is that going to be Tuesday night? Is that going to be Wednesday morning? Is it really delivering afternoon, 3 p.m.? And remember, with the strict appointments, usually those facilities are overbooked. So you need to be on time. Then we have appointment window, right? We have, for example, from 9 a.m. to 12 o'clock to pick up. Usually it's 2-3 hours. So it's called appointment window. What else we have to remember while we booking this? We already know that we have shipper. It's going to be in Chicago, right? That's where load originates. And destination receiver will be Boston, our delivery city. Look at this, guys. You already know shipper, receiver. You already know strict appointments. First come, first serve, right? By appointment only, right? How important is going to be to pay attention to this. So you book the load, you sign the rate confirmation. What do you need to give to your driver? Look at this, P&D, pick up and delivery. That would means P&D, pick up and delivery. You need to give them not only the city, you need to give them pick-up appointment. You need to give them a PO number, PO, purchase number. You need to tell him how many pallets it should be. What is the weight, right? Is it going to be palletized? Does he need to do anything before he closes the door? Does he need to take a picture of it and send to the broker? Does he need to secure the shipment, right? All of those things you're going to be finding where? In a rate confirmation. And my students know none of the brokers have time to say rate confirmation. It's RC. Did you receive my RC? Well, that means rate confirmation. Please, can you sign tender and send it back? Well, tender, this is a rate confirmation. Can you please sign freight movement and send it back? This is the same. This is just the different words for the rate confirmation, for that agreement that you guys did. Okay, we got pickup information. We give it to the driver. He went to load or unload. Again, unloading and delivering, all loading, right? So we're going to go in Chicago. We're going to load our ice cream. We're going to get to Boston. We're going to unload. In this case, we are adding a little bit more terminology. Well, we add in BOL, bill of lading. We add in understanding of overage, shortage, and damage, and also POD. What is the POD, right? And my students are understanding all of this. But for the new guys, we need to verify that you understand BOL. What is the meaning of the BOL? Well, it's itemized list of the goods contained in a shipment. Let's see. My drivers just got me bill of ladings. I have originals, right? Let's see. I just get one of them. So, for example, this BOL, let me see. This BOL has a bunch of pages. This is what's for AmeriCold. So you're going to see what time was the pickup, where was it going. It's going to tell me what kind of commodities was shipped. We had a receiver, Walmart, right? We have all those numbers. We have the weight. We have description. We have the stamp. And the moment we got the stamp, now this bill of lading, after we delivered, is becoming what? It's becoming POD. Look at this. Same pages, nothing changes, but we have a stamp. We have a signature that it was delivered, right? So now it's POD, proof of delivery. How important is to understand that all pages has to be submitted for invoices. Broker doesn't want just to have the one page, right? Broker wants to make sure that you give them POD ASAP. And usually rate confirmation is gonna state PODs must be provided within 24 to 48 hours after delivery. Otherwise, you will be charged $50, $100, and whatever else they put in there. Is that important for you as a dispatcher to read in a rate confirmation? Is this important for you to relay to the driver? Is that important for your accounting to understand that they have to look through those PODs? And we all understand what is a clean BOL is. So let's see. What is a clean BOL? It has nothing to do with this paper being dirty or not dirty. Maybe you touched it with your hand. Maybe you spilled the coffee, right? No. The clean BOL means that there is no OS in these, overages, shortages, or damages. Okay? Again, clean BOL means that your driver delivers the goods and there was no damages, no overages or damages. In our class, we go through details how to deal with this. But for the new guys, for people who just started, or if you want to be a pro, you need to understand this is the best BOL you can have, the clean BOL, no OS and Ds. And again, our brokers are not gonna ask you the full name of it, overage, shortage. He's gonna call you and say, Alex, how is the delivery? Well, was it done? Yes, it's delivered. Is there any OS and Ds? No, there's no OS and Ds. And my students know we have to send the PODs, proof of delivery, to the broker right after delivery. Why do we need to do that? We need to make sure they know that BOL is clean. We deliver the load so they can close it in their system. So it's easier for our accounting to deal with this, for our factoring to verify the load. Why? Because you guys want to get paid ASAP. In trucking, you need money. And also, why would be a great step? Well, it would be a great step because you guys are building a relationship. If I am a broker and let's say Ryan, every time I give Ryan the load, every time he sends me PODs, he tells me that it was clean. Don't you think I want to call Ryan every time I have the load coming from Chicago to Atlanta? Yes, I do. Because I know that he's a responsible dispatcher, right? I know he's gonna make sure everything is done correct, and hopefully he's gonna work with me on all the updates. He's gonna give me updates for pickup, for delivery, for the transit, and if there are any issues, guys, and it's a lot of issues. This is not a magical trucking I'm teaching you guys. There's going to be breakdowns, right? There's going to be sometimes your previous load is going to take longer to unload. So you're going to be late for my pickup. But as long as Ryan communicates with me as a broker, as long as Ryan solves the problem before it's going to become nightmare, believe me, I still going to want to work with Ryan, right? And that's what we are teaching in a class. And that's what I want you to understand, that building that relationship is easy. You just need to do the steps. And the steps are also easy. This is a routine. That's what we call routine. Usually professionals, we're not much different than you, beginners or somebody else. We just do steps over and over and over, and we improve. We negotiate better, we connect better, but also we build relationships. Well, what else is involved? Probably if I would ask Svetlana and ask her, well, what is a lumper? She would answer, because Svetlana finished the class, but she still comes to my lives because she wants to make sure that she got it over so clean in her head that she has no questions about the simple things like lumpers, right? What is a lumper? Well, this is a fee. It can be charged by shipper or receiver. Usually, they are reimbursed by the broker if you can provide what? If you can provide a receipt for loading or unloading. If you paid from your own pocket as a carrier, as a company driver, as an owner-operator, we will need to ask to send us revised rate confirmation, right? But lumpers are usually done by third party for unloading or loading. You need to verify the lumper amount. You need to read the rate confirmation very clear, because most of the time it's going to say, before paying for lumper, your driver has to verify with Coyote, with TQL, with a convoy amount that has to be paid. Because guys, again, lumpers are usually provided by the third party. So sometimes they're going to tell you, well, $400. Well, maybe Coyote did not approve that because they agree for each load Coyote delivers to Americold, it will be $200. So if you did not do that extra step, and if you did not verify that, what's going to happen? Well, now you paid $400, but you only going to be reimbursed $200, right? Because you did not verify the amount. Anything which will be changed from the original agreement, we will have to discuss, and we have to come back and ask for revised rate confirmation. So what is a revised rate confirmation? Well, revised rate confirmation is same rate confirmation, but something changed. Usually amount change, right? They are adding us money or they are taking money away. Look at the things which you can be asking a revised rate confirmation with. Lumper charges, as we discussed before. Detention for loading or unloading. And again, detention, it's when our driver had appointment at 9 o'clock. He got there 9 o'clock and they did not unload him till 3 p.m. We're going to be asking for detention for unloading after 2-3 hours from the appointment. So please, can you send us revised rate confirmation with a detention at the receiver for 3 hours, okay? And they will send it to you. Layover, late fee, gate fee, extra peaks, truck order not used, TONU. What does it mean, TONU? Truck order not used. So they cancel load on you. Maybe product wasn't ready. Maybe your driver got there and he was waiting for a long time and they move it for the next day, and you're like, no way, guys, I'm not sitting here for next day to wait to your product. I need TONU. Please send me truck order not used and I'm going to be recovering my truck. Driver assist, pallet exchange, tolls, extra picks, all of those things you can ask for revised rate confirmation. Okay, so let's take a little short break and see what is the classes coming up soon, and we're gonna continue with our today live. Well, let's remove this for a second. I see that Ryan gave the comment, which is very valid comment. He said, XPO won't pay you until you accept micropoint, and we don't take their loads anymore because drivers don't like micropoint tracking. Well, here's the thing, Ryan. Well, not only XPO. Lots of brokers now, they mandatory wants you to accept micro tracking. For people who is not in tracking yet, they will send tracking to your driver phone the moment he's loading, unloading, so they can see where is cargo. What do you think, guys? If you sell the product, if you're a shipper or receiver, if you're a broker and you have that ice cream, do you think you have the rights to track your shipment? Yes, you do. So that's why, unfortunately, dear professional drivers, dear owner operators, company drivers, that's something which you have to accept. The thing is, if you don't want them to track your personal phone, then your company has to provide you with extra phone. Okay, if you have problem with them sending micro tracking to your personal phone, ask for the new phone. But guys, you need to accept. If I would be a broker, I'm sorry, but I want to see how far is the driver, if he is there, if he's actually moving, if he's gonna pick up load on time, if he's gonna deliver on time. And usually they start tracking you few hours before load, and after you deliver and you notify them that you delivered, they gonna remove the tracking. So unfortunately, yes, here's the challenges with what? With working dispatcher and a driver being a team. and I cannot stress out this so much. Guys, we should be a team. Dispatcher and a driver cannot be enemies. We cannot have tension between us, because for us to do a good job, for us to book that load, negotiate that rate, we need to make sure that the steps which are there in the rate confirmation are also done. That means you need to answer the phone when they need you to verify if you loading and unloading. Well, if you driving, yes, you don't really have to hold the phone because it's against regulations. But guys, that's why your dispatcher should start giving updates. It's easier for me. I can see you on a ELD board, and I can see if you're moving. I know that you're loading. I know you're not unloading. That's why good dispatchers, we prevent those million phone calls. But again, if you're not accepting micropoint, what's going to happen? A lot of times they're going to cancel your load. If you're not accepting micropoint, well, they will still give you the load, but they will short pay you. They will deduct the money after you deliver, right? And then owner operator gets upset. Alex, why did they deduct $200? Well, because you did not accept micropoint. I told you to do so, but you were stubborn. So this war going on every day, and it does not make it easier to be a dispatcher, but you guys need to follow some rules. Okay. What else? Let's see. Do you recommend the ways to ask for detention when it happens? Well, if you need to ask for detention first, after 2-3 hours, after detention is already occurring, what do we need to do? Me as a dispatcher, I have to notify broker that we still not unloaded. Usually, I don't wait for 2-3 hours, guys. After an hour, I want to make sure my driver tells me, Alex, I am on a dock 47. First, I'm going to make a few steps. I will call shipper or receiver, and I'm going to say, guys, we had an appointment. We still not unloaded. We are on dock 47, or maybe we don't even have a dock. So as a pro dispatcher, you're going to make those extra steps. Then the broker is going to tell you, well, product is not ready, or facility is so busy because of the holidays or after holidays, nothing we can do, but please track your time. In order to receive detention, you will need to submit BOL POD with in and out time. Lots of times, shipper or receiver does not want to write in and out time. Why? Because they don't want to admit that they have to pay detention. So that's why your driver has to write in and out time on the first page, and you need to send this to broker and ask for revised rate confirmation. Well, here's an example. I had a student who has him company right now, and he started dispatching, and he said, Alex, well, we got late for delivery, and TQL charged us $300 short pay. Factoring RTS paid them on time. 30 days later, they short paid them $300. Well, why, guys? Because they were late for delivery. And I asked my student, I said, well, did you notify TQLs that you're going to be late? Did your driver notify that you were late? No, we did not. We just called the receiver, and the receiver told us that they still going to take us anyway. Well, guys, here's the thing. Receiver is not the one who is paying you for moving freight from A to B. So, okay, receiver still received the commodities. You guys were late. You did not notify the broker. In this case, can you be pissed at TQL for $300? Well, not really. Let's be reasonable, and let's start doing things correct. So in this case, if you as a dispatcher would say, well, we were loaded late. Our driver ran out of his HOS hours. It was impossible to deliver on time because he cannot drive illegally, right? If you would notify TQL right away, we need to change appointment, or we going to be late 2-3 hours due to you guys loading us long time and actually giving us their own pickup city and address. If you would have all this in writing, then you can fight. But if you have nothing in writing, when you never made a phone call, well, excuse me, but that's why you're paying that $300. So one more time, guys, we can avoid all of this and we can fight for detention as long as we do those steps. In and out times, micro point, and giving updates as a dispatcher, as a driver. Well, let's see a few more questions. Used for see driver's location. Okay, so here's asking what kind of software should dispatchers use to see driver's location, and if you want to add back office support service. Well, first of all, guys, to be a pro dispatcher, you need to make sure you have login to ELDs. You actually need to see every driver's HOS hours. You need to see how many hours left on the cycle, how many hours he has today, how many hours on his shift, when is he taking break. You cannot book loads without seeing them. And if you have access to ELD to each driver, of course, you're going to see their location. Lots of people using Live 360, right? Live 360, you can add all your drivers, so it's easier for you. You can look at the phone. A lot of you guys using GPS tracking, right? Most of the trucks and trailers, they have GPS, so you're going to have login. Nowadays, with the technology, it's no excuse anymore. I don't know where my truck is. First, you can see him on ELD. Secondary, you can see his truck and trailer on GPS tracking, because if you are a smart owner of the company, you will have GPS tracking. Not only on the truck, you're also going to have it on the trailer, and you're going to know where your driver is. You're going to add him on maybe Live 360 or any other apps. We have so many apps available. Some of them are free. So you should, guys, have no problem of knowing where your driver is. Okay, another question. Do you recommend always ask for detention when it happens? Yes, of course. If it's more than 2-3 hours, you should always ask for detention. Another question, what device would automatically send email to broker? Detention start 30 minutes. Okay, the device would automatically send email notification. Yes, you can use all those apps nowadays, and a lot of times broker will ask, well, can we have login to your GPS tracking? Well, guys, not really. You don't want all the brokers be able to log in. You should do your job. You can give updates, you can email, you can text, you can leave messages, your driver can give updates. I don't think the broker should be able to log into your ELDs or your GPS tracking. Well, what else? Any questions about all this? Let's finish up because it's 7:24. We got some Leo, I believe, is telling which app he's using there, so you guys can look at the comments. But let's look. What does the dispatchers have to do? Well, first, we have to post our equipment, right? We need to know our equipment, right? We have to post. Do we have only power only? Do we have drive and reefer 53, 48? We need to know where we want to go. We need to have the plan A, B, and C. Then we're going to look at the load board, whatever you guys use, that truck stop. Maybe you booking from the brokers apps, and then you're going to call, or you can bid, right? We're going to be discussing this maybe in one Monday, how to bid on one of those load boards in details. Then you guys negotiate, you sign rate confirmation, you verify everything on the rate confirmation, you dispatch your driver, and you monitor the transit. So just today, guys, you need to remember few things. Well, what is a CDL? What is a truck? What is a semi? What is the equipment? What is HOS, right? What is the truckload? What is a partial? What is LTL, less than truckload? What is a commodity? What is a transit? What is it? Dead miles, empty miles, total miles. What is RPM? Rate per mile. Well, rate divided by total miles will give you rate per mile. So right now, you guys are knowing basics and foundation of the trucking. Well, any advices for brokers? Well, Agustin Facenta, any advices for brokers? Learn HOS. You need to understand hours of service. And when you giving the load through any dispatcher, you need to verify, is this going to be possible actually to deliver? And a lot of times when you guys tell us pick up and delivery, you look at the Google Maps, right? And the Google Maps, it's totally different thing than actually driving. We have traffic, right? The truck is not a Mercedes. It's not a white BMW, right? It's not a speedy Cadillac. This is a truck, heavy truck with 80,000 on the weight. So it depends the area the load going to. It's going to take more or less time. If you go through the mountains, if you go through the traffic in Chicago, if you go through New Jersey or New York. So dear brokers, understand that just because the Google Maps shows that we are 15 miles away and we somewhere in New Jersey or New York or downtown Chicago, and this is a peak hour, guys, it's not going to be 30 minutes. It's going to be hour and a half, 2 hours. So make sure you verify that. Ask us, are we fresh on hours, especially if you are booking cross-country loads, because a lot of dispatchers are new. They don't pay attention. So you as a broker, you should ask that. Do you have enough hours to make this transit? This is a lot of things to remember. This is a lot of steps to do, but this is all doable. If I could have done it, you guys can do it. If my students, look at my students, look at the Ryan. He found a job even before he finished the class. He's already dispatching, right? Look at other students. They are preparing to open their company. Some of them already open. So it's not that hard. Trucking is not hard. Trucking should be treated as a business. Logistics is a science. Foundation, terminology, understanding the process, shipper, receiver, transit, hours of service, CDL, cargo, securement of cargo, all these words you need to understand. BOL, POD, right? Clean BOL, shortage, overage, palletize, double stack, securement of the load, a lot of things, but this is possible, right? Alex, can you make a Monday Live about difference between being a dispatcher and a broker? Well, we're going to have that because we are adding the freight broker classes because a lot of our students, they already opened the companies. We have some people who wants just to be on a brokerage side. So after debating about this, we are adding this class and we're going to be introducing it probably in August. So we're going to make the Monday Live about that. Also, where can you get ELDs? Okay, where can you get ELDs? It's a lots and lots of providers. Next Monday, Yolanda, we're going to have owner of UTAC Corp. This is one of the providers who have the ELDs. They also have TMS, Trucking Management System Software, and they will be answering all the questions. So please join us next Monday at 6:30, and we're gonna see why is their ELD better or not. But we have lots of different providers. The only thing you guys need to make sure that you check if they are approved by whom? FMCSA, right? All already know it has to be approved. Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration. You cannot just make up ELD and not to get approved by federal government. So this would not be something you want to do. Maybe it's cheaper, maybe not, but you need to make sure that it's the one which is approved. Let's see again our classes, and we're going to have our winner, because all of you know that we have a mission, and our mission is to change trucking for better. And we're gonna make sure that we provide free education for people who are struggling. We also have sponsors and we have partners, and hopefully one person at a time, we're gonna make sure that we start dispatching better, we start hiring better drivers, qualified drivers, and maybe we also gonna have better brokers who understand our needs and who does not take advantage of the dispatchers. So let's see one more time our summer classes. I'm back, guys. And today we're not gonna be picking up winner from our bowl, because today we have winner by sponsor, and we know that Mr. Diwan Patel, he have chosen already the first candidate, and it was Kevin, who is gonna start our class on Saturday. And just guys, remember, the next class is gonna start on Saturday. If you still debating if you want to sign up or not, you still have a chance. We do have intense interactive classes, but let's see who is our winner. And I am gonna read the story, and hopefully she's watching us, and if not, of course she's gonna receive email with our schedule. But Mr. Diwan Patel, he chosen this lady. First, I'm going to read that story, and then I am going to tell her name. Well, first of all, I want to say thank you for providing valuable information to everybody willing to learn. Well, thank you. Apart from researching information through the FMCSA websites, I watch your videos to help educate myself. I find your videos so helpful, especially because you give an explanation to each step you talk about. I just wanted to take the chance to let you know that your work is appreciated. Well, it's very, very nice to hear words of appreciation. Thank you so much. Well, I am pretty new to the transportation industry and all the potential it has to offer. My reason for choosing the transportation industry started just last year, good old 2020, of course due to the pandemic. I lost my dream job as a costume technical designer for Walt Disney. However, with every closed chapter in our life, we go ahead and start a new one. That's right. We don't give up, guys. We keep going. I was then inspired by my husband, as he said, we can truck drive together, and I take our dogs on the road with us. This sounded like a dream because home is where the happiness is at. And I also like to travel to new places. I went on to get my CDL, and we actually decided to go the owner-operator route, since trucking business has been my husband's dream for a long time now. However, sometimes life gets in the way, but this time we decided to just go all in. I'm also very motivated because this industry has a lot of growth, and it's an exciting business to learn. We are also in the process of purchasing a used truck, and as many know, it does not come cheap. However, it is an investment in our future. Your classes would help alleviate some of the financial impact we are in right now, as well as improve my knowledge and to possibly gain a mentor. I'm about ready to launch our dispatch service as well, but that does not mean I know absolutely everything. I like to be the most knowledgeable in the field I work in. I intended on growing the business and helping guide the future of transportation towards a positive way. Thank you for your time and for doing this. Diana Sanchez. Dear Diana Sanchez, Mr. Patel was inspired by your story and he have chosen you as another participant in our class. So let's be thankful for Mr. Patel one more time, and we're gonna see you next Saturday. One more time, our winner is Diana Sanchez. And it's me again, Alex, your sassy dispatch girl. Please share my lives. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. And hopefully, together, we can make a difference. So let's change trucking for better. You, me, and everybody else. Only one person at a time. It takes one person to do better job. And I'm here always with my love and my appreciations to all my students. And I will see you next Monday. And we're going to be talking about HOS. One more time, if you guys know somebody who is struggling, if you want to learn, please subscribe to our channel. Follow us on YouTube. Make sure you send us email with your story because this is real. Every Monday, we have the winner. Every Monday, we're going to touch someone's life. Every Monday, we're going to improve our knowledge. And one more time, remember that we have to be thankful for all of those who gave their lives, for all our soldiers who still protect us. And I want to finish on this note of appreciation, remembrance, and honoring. And I'll see you soon, guys.